What do I think of the Owl House so far? After watching 7 episodes, 7 episodes, the number of completion according to the Bible. After watching 7 episodes, I think I can safely say it's a pretty good show. By far the worst episode is the pilot. I've said it once, I've said it twice, I've said it thrice, I don't know how many times I've said it in total, but I want to say it again. Nobody should be punished for who they are, even if they don't care about the safety of others. Putting that aside, the immersion I got from watching the pilot is why I give it a 6 out of 10. The message is awful, but all in all, a good intro to the characters and the world. The second worst is Hootie's Moving Hassle. It's generally decent. I gave it a 6.9 out of 10 because a lot of it is filled with irrelevant stuff. Luckily, the relevant outweighs the irrelevant, and it's predominantly fun to watch, so that's cool. What did I say before? The pilot is the worst episode to date? Yes. Until now. Let's get to episode 8, Once Upon a Swap. Honestly, I expected this to be garbage right off the bat, after looking at the title. Seriously, Once Upon a Swap? I'm not even gonna try to come up with a better title. A garbage title fits a garbage episode. Let's just get this over with. Once upon a time, the Three Stooges do the usual. Scam people with their products. I hope your mother finds out what you do for a living in this magical world, pendejo.
That's not funny, Basha.
Well, what are you gonna do? Spit your human venom on me?
Was that supposed to be an insult or a taunt?
You have venom? Quick, loose! Start melting faces!
Even if I could, it's not worth it.
Oh really? You think spraying venom is not worth it, but bringing snakes to school is worth it? The Three Stooges decided to swap bodies so they could know what it's like to be the other. Okay. King doesn't know how to handle teens, so he turns into Luz. Luz doesn't know what it's like to be a witch criminal who can just poof all her problems away, so she turns into Edalyn. Finally, Edalyn doesn't believe that King's life is filled with pain and suffering, so she turns into King. The entire episode feels like a Tarantino film, in a sense that it contains multiple stories, all in one chapter. But saying this feels like it was directed by Quentin Tarantino is a massive insult to Quentin Tarantino. First, we have Eda's catastrophe. She gained a lot of attention from people around town, including an Emperor's Guard, who didn't know it was Edalyn. You know, why do they look like that? Is that meant to capture the appearance of an owl? It does not look like an owl. It looks more like an ice cream cone. See? Join the ice cream cone coven today. This guy is not allowed. Later, these old slags kidnap Edalyn, taking her to the kitty cafe. Say that 10 times fast. Kitty cafe, kitty cafe, it's like some sort of daycare for small cats. How much do you get paid, woman? Oh, sorry, I shouldn't ask something like that. Obviously, this cafe is not what it seems. I mean, raise your hand if you immediately expected this place and these women to have a dark twist. It's an extremely overused trope, which I'm getting tired of. It was fun during the first time seeing it, maybe also the second and third time, but can we please move on? Can you please act nice if you look nice and sound nice? That would actually subvert my expectations. Oh my god, you guys are completely normal, even though you look completely normal? What? What is this? What am I watching? Inception? Wait, I didn't even see that film, so what are you saying? As Edalyn hides from the old slags after refusing to wear this thing, she discovers how do I describe this? A collection? A collection of what? A collection of zombie minions, right? Is that why they're being kept? Why are they being kept? According to this guy, these babies were cuddled so much, their brains turned to mush, eventually forgetting how to live on their own. I didn't quite understand his elucidation. If only he elaborated. Unfortunately, it was too late, so this remains a mystery. I'm tired of this cliche trope, but for some reason I cannot get tired of terrifying mysteries that never get solved. In fact, I'm a sucker for those things, if done properly. This does transpire only for a short time. Still, I appreciate it, since the execution is simply good. Realizing that being a baby is not a walk in the park, Eda tried to escape but failed for some reason. Why couldn't you escape? The mouse hole was a freaking illusion or something? What was that? Next up is King's brush with death. I don't get what that means in this context. What does death have to do with King's situation? And what do you mean by brush? King rules over Basha's friends like an actual king. They cause all kinds of mischief around town until Basha attempts to reclaim her throne.
I don't know why they can't remember what a weirdo loser you are, but I'm gonna help them remember.
What are you gonna do? You're gonna remind her how much she loves bringing snakes to school? Oh wait, no, this is King, not Luz. Sorry, Michael. She challenges him to a race on Dead Man's Curve. Not even gonna ask why it's called Dead Man's Curve. The race turns out to be a scam as there is no finish line. It's more like an end line. King destroyed Basha's treasure shack, leading to a chase. Knowing that being a teenager is something he can't handle, he now wants his body back. Yeah, we all know where this is going. It's going to the kitty cafe, where he stumbles upon himself. Lastly, we have Luz's Deals and Heels, which is the most interesting and definitely the only important story. But the title is nonsense to me, as well as King's brush with death. The only title that makes any sense is Eda's catastrophe, because she did end up getting into some sort of catastrophe. King's brush with death is gibberish. Nobody died as far as I know. Maybe some people died when King threw the water balloons, but was that really the main focus? And again, what do you mean by brush? Brush with death, what does that mean? Loses Deals and Heels. She does not seem to have any problems with the heels after a couple of seconds. In fact, she jumped perfectly with high heels. They don't seem to be a bother afterwards, so tell me, what exactly is Luz's Deals and Heels? To be frank, I completely forgot the title of this segment. Luz is doing business as usual, until she got caught because of her big ass life light show. She was about to be taken to the conformatorium. However, Blackfire insisted on something else in mind. She insists on letting her join the Emperor's Coven, like what they dreamed about when they were younger.
Eda wanted to be in the Emperor's Coven?
And that's it. That's all you need to hear. That's why this episode exists, to let you know that Eda actually wanted to join the Court of Owls. Okay, next episode! What were they thinking?
What were they thinking?
Luz was able to escape with Albert. She learned that Eda's life is more complicated than she thought. In the end, the three stooges swapped their bodies back after learning a lesson about experiencing each other's hardships. Edalyn swapped the bodies of everyone around them to create a massive diversion, allowing them to escape. Now that's what I call a female dog. A while ago, the Three Stooges made a bet. Whoever can prove their new body has the easiest life gets exempted from cleaning Hootie. Since they all failed equally, who's gonna clean the owl house?
Maybe if we all work together, we could...
Not it.
Oh, man.
Oh, you dare to complain? Let me remind you, Luz. You chose to leave your home behind. You chose to leave your family behind. You lied to your own mother so that you can stay here. You made a conscious decision to prioritize whatever selfish reasons you had for staying here over the well-being of your poor mother and the place that nurtured and sheltered you for God knows how long. Perhaps you should take a long, hard look in the mirror and confront the consequences of your own actions instead of complaining, alright? So shut the f*** up and stand by your choice. This was your choice. Your choice. If you don't want to clean the owl house, if you don't like the way things ought to be here, go the f*** back to the human world now, young lady! The episode ends there. What can I say about this that hasn't been said already? I mean, everyone does think this is horrendous, right? Just in case I'm the only one, here's why Once Upon a Swap is terrible. In hindsight, having the characters switch bodies to find out what it's like to be the other is a good idea. It's a great way to develop them. It gives them new perspectives on each other. And granted, I did learn a valuable lesson here. We live in this interconnected world where everyone seems to be stuck in their own bubble of existence. Because of that, we all think we understand what others are going through, but it becomes a whole different ballgame when we actually go through it ourselves. It changes everything. It cultivates empathy, compassion, and a greater appreciation of the struggles that people face on a daily basis. Going through someone else's struggles in life isn't always easy. It requires a ton of effort to step outside our own bubble and open ourselves up to the struggles of others. When we do, it changes how we see things. All of those preconceived notions and judgments go flying out the window because now we get it, even if just a little bit. Plus, undergoing someone else's misfortunes helps break down barriers and bridges gaps between different groups. It allows us to see beyond our own lives and be reminded that we are all in this crazy game of life together. I absolutely love this lesson. The problem here is that none of it matters! By the end of it all, Eda and King chose not to help Luz clean Hootie. I did say that Luz shouldn't complain about it since she made a choice to stay in this magical world, but whatever happened to experiencing each other's hardships? Whatever happened to character development? Way to Thanos snap all of it from existence, you stupid donuts. Or maybe this is character development. They now know that confronting the tribulation of others is a hard thing to do. Therefore, they didn't want to help Luz. Or maybe this is a joke. Is this meant to be funny? I really did chuckle. Either way, Once Upon a Swap is the definition of filler. That's why it sucks. Don't get me wrong, filler episodes can actually be good. It gives us a chance to explore other dimensions of our favorite characters, understand their motivations better, or even witness their growth over time. Some people do consider filler episodes as a breather amidst intense storylines. They offer some lighthearted moments or comedic relief to balance out the more serious and action-packed arcs. Once Upon a Swap is not a good filler. It deliberately wasted my time. It did not serve as a breather bounded by the intense storylines we've been getting so far because there were no intense storylines. Yet, we're just getting started with them. I was seriously getting invested in Amity's character arc, including Velma's character arc, and the other stuff. Making a filler episode now breaks the flow of the story, especially when the filler episode contributed absolutely nothing. Nothing meaningful happened here. The development is a joke. The side characters that got fleshed out presumably were never important again. Well, except for Basha, but there are literally other episodes that did the same thing. Episodes that are not a waste of time unlike this. Love or hate this chapter, you can't deny it's a waste of time. Oh wait, it's actually not. That's my biggest problem. You actually need to watch this. Let's take a look at Hootie's Moving Hassle. While Hootie's Moving Hassle may feel like a filler, this has more than one purpose, such as Velma's situation, which builds up her character development, and Grimhammer's presence. Both of these lasted a long time in the episode, and they were not meaningless. They actually went somewhere. Hootie's Moving Hassle is 80% development and 20% filler. As I said before, the relevant outcome outweighs the irrelevant. That's why I don't think it's bad. Meanwhile, Once Upon a Swap is 90% filler and 10% progression. That line of dialogue right there, that one line of dialogue, which lasted less than 5 seconds, is why you need to watch this. It showcases the audience a twist. It was Eda's dream to join the Court of Owls after all. Here's the thing, if you're gonna make an episode where the only essential thing that happened is one line of dialogue while the rest wasted my time, you're gonna make dog shit. Once Upon a Swap is exactly that. It's dog shit. It's still fun to watch, but looking at it from a writing perspective, it sucks. It's disappointing to see such a lackluster and ultimately pointless addition to an otherwise enjoyable series. When TV shows like this have episodes like these, makes me question the overall quality and creativity of the series. Hopefully they'll get back on track with the next one and give us a more engaging and purposeful story to sink our teeth into. Once Upon a Swap deserves a 3 out of 10. Still better than Ladybug. And that was the very first genuinely bad episode of The Owl House. Also, it's the worst of season 1 and the entire show by far. Hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that stuff. It really means a lot. You guys are the best. Next time we'll talk about episode 9. Until then, stay cool and stay safe.
I've been watching the sun till it goes down below the horizon. I can see it tomorrow again, oh I like you. The nights feel longer than before when I spend time alone. Thinking about you and I know it's not what I